All right, welcome to day 4. The roots of our results. This is the last lesson of this 4-day series. There's a lot to go through, so let's get right into it. The driving force of a behavior. This final topic is somewhat a surface level approach, but really is the bridge into working more deeply with your subconscious. So when I say surface level, I mean more of a conscious level approach, something that you could use every day, that you could work with in your waking state and still get highly effective results. And so, looking at the roots of our results, that can also be said as the driving force that gives us our results. The common truth to why people don't see long lasting results is because they do not go deep enough to access the real root cause. They don't have the right information, tools, or techniques. They do not integrate the work well enough. And so everything shared in these 4 lessons are very effective tools and techniques. The last one with the survival mechanism, day 3, if you really break things down, look at all the pieces and all the parts to a summary of what you're avoiding, you can really start to go deeper into yourself and really start to work through things really well. But then it all comes down to integration, integrating all of this information. And it's not a lot. It's not a lot of information. I really uh, condensed all of this information so you could use it. It's not overwhelming. It's very simple and it works. Okay. So before diving into today's lesson, take a moment and reflect on where you are right now in your journey. In your journey towards personal growth and fulfillment, whatever dreams or aspirations you have. And considering your dreams that you've held close, the aspirations that stir deep within your soul, your soul's excitement, the things that really just light you up from deep within. But then also noticing what obstacles you might have that's continuously seem to perhaps hold you back. Now imagine a world where those obstacles start to dissolve one by one, not because they vanish on their own, but because you have changed. You've equipped yourself with the knowledge, the tools, and the mindset to transform them into stepping stones, one by one, knowing exactly what it takes to transform, transmute, dissolve all of those obstacles. So this isn't just about learning, it's about evolving into the person who can achieve those dreams. This is all about integration. So, what if I told you the next step in your journey isn't about doing more, but about being more? It all starts with you investing into yourself, looking at all these lessons and really taking the time to invest into yourself, to condition yourself every day. Every day we are conditioning ourselves, whether we realize it or not. Are we conditioning ourselves to have a short term attention span or long term attention span? Are we conditioning ourselves to be uh, lazy or active and healthy? Are we conditioning ourselves to have a strong empowerment or a weakened type of who we are? You know, every moment we are conditioning ourselves. What information are you feeding yourself every day? Are you watching TV, dramas on television, or are you watching documentaries or things that you're really excited about? Or maybe it's something on personal development every day. Every day, what are you doing to develop yourself? Even 1 hour a day, even 40 minutes, or even a half an hour every day is bringing you closer to your dreams, bringing you closer to evolve yourself. Every day, what are you conditioning yourself to be? That's what it really comes down to. It doesn't take long. 1 hour a day is not long. 1 hour a day is enough, though, to start to move yourself into a version of yourself that lights your soul up, that fulfills you from the deepest part of who you are outwards into creating a life that you love, that really fulfills you. So, just a side note, as you are here watching this, I really appreciate it because you're taking the time to level yourself up. You're, you're actually developing yourself, you're conditioning yourself with this information. And honestly, the world really needs people to step into their power right now. The world's not going to get better unless each individual really betters themselves. That's what it really comes down to. So even though I might not know who you are, and by all means, I'd be open to meet you or even have a chat. Um, so if I don't know who you are and you want to stay anonymous, thank you for watching this because I know that at least one person is bettering themselves, and that's bettering the world. So with all this said, let's get right into today's lesson. So when we quit an unpreferred behavior, but the emotional drive is left intact, we will still be driven to do that something. Let me explain a little bit further. So, even though we quit the behavior, I'm going to take the example like smoking. I used to smoke tobacco a long time ago, and I know exactly what it's like. Now I help a lot of other people quit smoking tobacco. So even though a person may quit a behavior, whether it's tobacco or another example, overeating or emotional eating, eating sugar or whatever type of addiction or habit a person has, just because we quit a behavior does not mean we are free from the driving force that drives us towards the behavior. If we quit a behavior, but the emotional drive is still intact, we are using willpower to resist the emotional drive driving us towards doing the unpreferred behavior we said we quit. So in the example of smoking, just because somebody quits smoking doesn't mean they're free from the emotional drive. Oftentimes, a lot of people quit smoking, but then the emotional drive overpowers them and eventually they start smoking again. Eventually, willpower loses against emotional drive. And this is simply because the mind is not as strong as the heart. The mind, the electromagnetic field around the brain, is nowhere near the strength of the electromagnetic field around the heart. However, the mind can understand the emotional drive. The mind or a willpower can be used to dissect the emotional drive, to really understand what is underneath the emotional drive. That's where the magic is. So the only way to win is to go deep enough into the emotional drive and change the factors generating the emotions driving us. So the same thing goes for starting a new pattern or behavior. So when we start a new pattern or behavior, I'll just pick the example of going to a gym. The statistics are crazy of how many people drop off within the first 2 weeks of a new year when they have New Year's resolutions to, I'm going to start going to work out. When we start a new pattern or behavior, but we don't have a good enough emotional drive, we are just using mental willpower to get us into doing that something we want to do. But when life comes along to put up a resistance, whatever that may be, we won't have most of the time, most people don't have a strong enough drive to keep them going. And the resistance can be as simple as, oh, some friends, are wanting to go hang out, or you may not feel the best, you don't want to. But it could also be resistances like I'm not enough, I'm unworthy, etc. Could be many ideas around this. Most of the time, it has to do with I am not enough, I am unworthy of this, this is not who I am. The self identity, the self concepts, the self esteem, all of those things usually are what get in the way. We might even sabotage the progress we made, for someone to go to the gym or even, yoga, or, if someone's working out, losing weight, but then all of a sudden deep within them, they have beliefs that I'm unworthy. This is not who I am. And so they lose all that weight, but then next thing you know, they gain that weight back within a month. So they sabotage all the progress that they made. And next thing you know, there they are again. And so looking into a behavior broken down. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. It took me a while to figure this out, and I'll pause at a moment here to really explain something. But our results in life, whatever results or manifestations uh, that you have in life, they got to be how they are based on some underlying principles. The first one is behavior or action. And so the behaviors that you have or the actions that you take give you your results in life. They're the thing that manifests life, make things move, make the physical world move. But then underneath the behavior or action all has to do with the emotional drive, the motivation, the feeling, the emotional drive behind it. And underneath that, the things that generate our emotional drive or motivation is our beliefs, the ideas we integrate and hold true. And so, a brief example, somebody could have uh, a belief that the streets are unsafe downtown a city, but another person can have a belief that the streets are full of opportunity. The city is full of opportunity. The person that has a belief that streets are unsafe, they may have the emotional drive of anxiety. Anxiety is bubbling up within them. And when they're generating a negative emotion inside of them, they want to get away from it. They want to avoid that. So if they're generating in something inside of them, then they're moving towards pleasure. They're moving towards a behavior that makes them want to go and pleasure eat or go and drink alcohol or find a way to numb themselves, and that gives them the results in life in some way, shape, or form. Maybe the emotional driving anxieties keeping them small. They're not taking the opportunity to go and meet people. They're holding themselves back. They want that promotion, or they want to start a new career, or they really want to level up in life, but they have anxiety because there's this belief somewhere deep within that tells them they're not worthy of it, or how they orient themselves in the world, their belief is very limiting. But then somebody that has a belief of confidence, the streets are full of opportunity and whatever it is, they may have lots of confidence. They may be going and meeting people and, ooh, what kind of opportunity are they going to give me? Like there's so many ways of seeing that. Yeah. And they may have beliefs deep within that are very strong, that strong self-worth. And so beliefs are interchangeable. You can change your beliefs. And so this is where it gets really good. So when I first got into this type of personal development, talking about beliefs, going to clinical hypnotherapy, getting the work done on myself, everybody said, oh, you just got to believe. You just got to believe. And even when I was doing a lot of conscious work and spirituality and understanding more of the conscious philosophies, oh, you got to believe in this, you got to believe in that. But nobody told me what a belief actually was. They just told me I have to believe. Well, that doesn't help me. What is a belief? What constructs a belief? How do I believe in something? And this is where it all starts to make sense. So nobody told me how to create a belief, but I'll basically tell you what I figured out. And I've been testing this over and over and over and over and over and over again. Stands the test of time. I've done multiple sessions with people over and over and over and over and over again. And how easy it is for me to help them change a belief is it's just astonishing. It's beautiful. It's empowering. And once they can change a belief, they realize how simple it is as well. And so this is what a belief is. It's an introduced idea or concept, usually from a very young age, at a young age, and it gets validated over time. So we validate an idea over and over and over and over and over and over again until all of a sudden we create an assumption or a conclusion. And sure enough, it changes the way we perceive. Our brain changes the way how we see things, and that begins to stabilize a belief. So it could be a situation or a circumstance, and somebody says, "Oh, well, this is the way I see it." And they share and they have valid points to it. They have validated ideas. They have validated their own ideas, and maybe someone has validated their ideas. And next thing you know, well, that sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they can now change their perception. Oh, I see how you can see how that is. And all of a sudden, they form an assumption and conclusion. Next thing you know, the more it stabilizes, the more they hold it to be true, it turns into a stabilized belief, and that changes the way they perceive the world going forward. All of a sudden there's this anchored belief, but everybody knows that you could see one situation in so many different ways. I mean, that's why people are going to court all the time, because there's multiple perspectives. Oh, this is the way I see it, well, that's the way I see it, and the person that can prove it wins, even though that one person might not have evidence works. And so, some people lose in court sometimes, some people win in court. Some people lose that shouldn't have lost, but they just didn't have the right way of explaining their evidence and how to validate that. And so, even in one situation, it could be seen in so many different ways. And how you validate that will determine what assumptions or conclusions that you have. And so at a young age, a lot of the time it's limited information as a kid. We have limited information. Our brain hasn't fully developed yet. We're seeing things from a very limited point of view. And a lot of the time, we validate those limited points of view that turn into limited beliefs, limiting beliefs about our self-worth, our self-identity, and all these things. And we never update them, which causes us to feel limited in life. We're not getting the results that we actually want. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. To reprogram a belief, keeping it very simple, I just really like to simplify things. I'm sure everybody has heard in the personal development industry, know your why. It's very basic, it's very simple, and it's true to this day. I know why you want to reprogram a belief. Look at your results. Do you like them? Do you not? Look at your emotions. Do the emotions feel good or not? Know why do you want to change them? And then what do you want to change them to? Why do you want to change them? Oh, you want something better. Okay, awesome. But here's the thing, have as many whys as you can, not just one. Stack them. Give as much meaning as you possibly can, and you simply will not stop yourself to change. Clearly identify your beliefs and definitions. Dissect your beliefs, dissect your definitions. Take time to do this, really get into them. Have a pen and a piece of paper and just really break things down. Look at the summary of an idea or a belief and look at all the parts that made it up. Yeah, it takes time to do this. You could probably speed it up by, doing a clinical hypnotherapy session for sure. If you just want to do it yourself, take a pen and paper and start writing things down, really dissecting things. And then know your benefit. If we act out a behavior, we have a benefit to do it. If we don't benefit from doing it, we are wasting energy. And as soon as we realize there is no benefit, we will instantly quit the behavior. Look at smoking. So many people say they want to quit smoking, but when you break down the parts and pieces, maybe 80% of those parts and pieces, they have no benefit, but 20% of those things, they do have benefit. Well, guess what? If you have any type of benefit, you're going to not quit. You're going to have a very difficult time quitting because you're still having that draw and pull to basically want to still smoke because you're finding benefit in it. But the thing is, as soon as there's no more benefit, you'll quit because you're wasting energy by doing something. And the body does not like to use up energy. That's the thing. The subconscious does not like to use up energy when there's no benefit to. And so I don't know how many times I've helped people quit smoking. And most of the time, the easiest people to help quit smoking are later in life, the older generations, people that are in their mid 40s to, early whatever, 70s, um, because they have already gone through in their mind all the benefits of what they got from it, and then all the cons or all the negatives, and they have worked through those negatives over a long period of time to the point where all of a sudden they don't really have any reasons to smoke anymore, and their health is a lot more important, so they quit a lot easier. So, and then the last piece is redecide your beliefs. Gather a variety of beliefs on one topic that you are looking to change and compare them. Sometimes, if you're focusing on a topic, go and get a book that explains that topic from somebody else's point of view, somebody else's beliefs. Maybe ask somebody that's already successful or doing well with that topic that you're focusing on changing. Ask them what their beliefs are, how they see the world in reference to that topic. Gather many different ideas around what you're trying to change, and then once you gather enough, redecide. So this really brings us towards the end of this lesson. So as you can see, changing beliefs, it really gets down to perspective. We circle all the way back to day one. And, then there's day two and day three. It all has its play. And then, of course, day four, this lesson really helps you piece it all together, but it also helps you to really understand on a deeper level what you need to do. And this is really the bridge to working more deeply with your subconscious. Now, all of these principles you could work in a very conscious way, going about doing your daily deeds, and you could integrate it into your everyday waking state. This is what I really intended to do, to make things very simplified that anybody could use, anybody could integrate, and it works. So these 4 days you can use every day to build a momentum towards breaking free from self-sabotage and personal limitation. It works if you work with these principles. If you really want to dive into your self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, and even self-identity, and when I'm talking about self-identity, it's clearing beliefs about yourself that do not sit well within. You'll need to go deeper. These 4 days are highly effective when you're breaking through some self-sabotage or personal limitations. But if you really know deep down that you have some deeper work you need to do, and if self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, that whole identity really resonates, and there's some stuff to do there, I highly recommend going deeper. There's not really any easy way to work on that deeper level. This type of inner work to do with the self concepts is truly life enhancing and transformative when you get there. A conscious approach to these self concepts is extremely slow. I've tried it. I've tried many conscious techniques way back in the past. It's very slow. That's the whole idea of onion, having the layers of an onion, trying to peel back one layer at a time to get to a self-worth issue that's at your core of your subconscious. But every time you peel back a layer, that core can be generating a new layer because it takes time to go through all those things. It could take weeks or months. And so you're wasting time peeling back those layers when all of a sudden, oh, a new layer just generated because you had a new experience in life. So it's best to just dive into your subconscious, go right to the core. And it's really valuable. If you're listening to this and you resonate with these 4 days, those are powerful concepts. But if you just really need to get to the core of your self-worth and you want to get there very quick and effective, and just really start to level up your life on that level, I highly recommend a subconscious approach. reprogramming your subconscious from the subconscious level. And so you could just go right down to the core. You don't have to go through the layers. The layers is a slower way. It still works, but it's slower. I'm just going to be honest and just be real. So that's kind of what it is. That's just with my own personal transformation experience. That's what I've been helping with people out with other clients and their transformation and experiences. I've worked with people that have gone to counseling and psychotherapy for years and years and years. They made very little progress. They changed. Yes, it worked. It helped them, but it took a very long time. And eventually, just wanted to speed things up. They heard about hypnotherapy. They heard about my business. They had this one guy I remember had one session, just boom, completely just had the most profound realization and completely changed his life going forward. I'm like, hey, well, I mean, that's just one session. Can I do multiple? But he was happy, he was fulfilled, he got everything he needed, all the realizations. And I just said, hey, integration, integration, integration. So this type of work is really powerful. One-on-one hypnotherapy is highly effective. However, why have to rely on somebody? And this is what I've been leaning towards now, is teaching people how to do self-hypnosis, teaching people all the tools so you could do it yourself. You don't have to ever rely on anyone ever again. And you could save a whole bunch of money. I mean, just think how much it costs to go, once every 2 weeks to a counselor or a therapist. How much money are you spending, once every 2 weeks for a whole year to get results? Whereas you could learn everything yourself, you could learn all the tools. You don't have to waste time. You could do it from your own comfort of your own home. And I'm here as a teacher to support. So if you do not want to waste time, if you want to actually save a lot of money as well, and accelerate in life quickly towards a more fulfilling life, earning way more money. I mean, that's just a side effect, honestly, when you start to level up self-worth. It's feeling free and aligned with everything you do, all while saving time and energy with personal development. It will be of great benefit to dive into your subconscious and start from your core working outwards, not from the surface level, conscious level working inwards. I mean, that is still effective. Yes, you get results. But if you really just want to speed things up, uh, you, you heard my point of view. And that's just my point of view. Maybe you want to hear from many other people. Okay, so once you learn it and start to integrate all of this self-worth core information, you'll have it for life. You won't need to go to another therapist. You simply won't. You'll just know exactly what to do. You'll know how to dive into yourself. You know how to work with the information. And honestly, you'll never have to go to anyone again. I honestly have been to people before and other therapists. I know this works so well now that I actually stopped going to them because I found that they didn't even get to the core in one session. I was like, well, I could do that in half an hour. Why would I want to come to you and pay so much money when I could just do this inner work and gain more with my own writing practice and knowing exactly how to drop myself in my subconscious? It makes no sense. So I just stopped going to a therapist. And I remember a friend, he's a healer, and he's like, hey, and he offered me a session. He's just like, yeah, I don't know, and so it was for free. I was like, he's kind of getting going and everything, and I was like, okay. And I remember he came back and go, you're really clean. Like, yeah, thanks. Say energy work or whatever. It's like, yeah, you don't really need any clearing. I'm like, I didn't think so, but yeah, thank you. All right, so imagine you had all the tools to step into unlimited self-worth, self-esteem, unlimited self-confidence, that you felt empowered and at ease. It felt as though the universe was supporting your every move and things were aligning divinely. Perfect timing, feeling relaxed and comfortable with change, feeling like your dreams were manifesting in perfect timing, in rhythm with you. That's what happens when you work with your subconscious and not against it. Because what we give out is what we get back. The universe reflects what we vibrationally output from our subconscious. So just being reasonable, with 6 months to learn how to do all of this, to learn the tools, skills, and have a grand start with integration for this to happen? I mean, if you really think about it, looking back 3 years in your life, how much time or how much have you changed? You know, what if you could collapse those 3 years into 1 year because you had the right tools and right approach? You just knew exactly what was in the way and you knew how to, just all of a sudden drop into that core belief around that and just instantly start to change it. And then all of a sudden, oh, everything starts to become easier. All of a sudden, why didn't I just do this way? Why couldn't I have just got out of my way and just made it so much easier? And that's often what happens, when we get into those self-worth, self-concepts. So I'd like to give you an invitation. I mean, that was already kind of pre-introductory of where I'm going with this. I won't take too much time here. So going through a transformation alone is not the easiest. I've done this. I personally know, over time and many years of struggling, I eventually went and got help. I've had many guides and teachers that have accelerated me to where I am today. Wasn't so much therapists. I mean, they were very helpful at the beginning, but then I eventually found guides and teachers that taught me how to do my own inner work. And once I started to learn that, I really accelerated. So if you are serious about personal change, I like to return the favor and be a guide for you. And like I was mentioning, once you learn these things, these ideas, and you start to integrate them, you won't need me anymore. Just like Luke Skywalker had a Jedi guide and Harry Potter had his teachers, I am here to guide you while you take hold of your own life to make it the greatest life you possibly can create and live. So you have an incredible potential. Tap into it fully. What's stopping you? To bring yourself to a new level of being rather quickly, I'd like to invite you to take a deep dive into a deep subconscious reprogramming course with one-on-one support to reformat self-worth, self-esteem, self-efficacy, self-love, self-acceptance, and personal confidence. All the self-concepts, essentially. When your subconscious foundation changes, you'll find limitless motivation to transform your life with ease. When your subconscious is working with you and not against you, manifestations, law of attractions rapidly accelerate in alignment with your intentions. So as this lesson ends, if you found the value in these 4 days and would like to take a deeper dive, book a call with me. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. Now, the price of this course is very reasonable and financially in reach compared to other personal development 6-month courses just on mindset, not even to do with diving into your subconscious, working on self-worth levels and all that. I've taken some mindset courses a long time ago. Yes, they can definitely be very expensive. Um, and most of them don't teach subconscious work. And I honestly would go back to my own practice and do the self-worth idea, my own practice around the self concepts. And then eventually, the mindset does help for sure. But your core is the foundation. So you don't have to be ready to start the process of transforming yourself. All you need to do is to clearly decide. Because honestly, there's never going to be always a good time. There's never going to be a perfect time. But once you clearly decide, then all of a sudden, your subconscious can arrange, the sequence of things to have yourself ready. So this is what the course is designed to give you: infinite self-worth. And when you tap into your core and begin to realize who you are and work through the limiting programs, you'll realize how easy this idea of infinite self-worth is. And you'll be launched into transformative action. This also goes for the list below: limitless self-esteem, confidence that resonates to your core, increased wealth and abundance. A byproduct, honestly, is a byproduct of your unlimited soul thriving. When your soul like thrives, when you're on fire, when you're excited and passionate, just to go and do what you've always wanted to do, the money comes. The wealth and abundance of it, just it happens. And of course, way quicker manifestations and infinite self-love, self-acceptance, along with the other self concepts. So the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago, and the second best time is now, anonymous. So if you're ready to invest into yourself, if you feel like this is an amazing idea and you would love to just dive into it and experience a profound acceleration in life, this is a perfect time. Book a call with me. We could see if this is the right fit for you. Not everybody is gonna, be the right fit, but I could definitely, having you on a call, just talking with you. Maybe you just need a one-on-one session. That's cool. Let's make sure this is the right fit for you and get you started on a journey to a more fulfilled and purpose-driven life. So as you watch this video, I often re-record these videos. This is autumn 2024. I have recently released a new upgraded model of the subconscious reprogramming course. So I usually have intimate groups of people that I bring through it. And every time I make sure that the information I'm teaching is very relatable and translated properly so they can understand it. And so I often get a lot of feedback. And if I have to um, better my explanations or add more detail or add support around that, I usually will do that. And I'll be upgrading and improving the course so I could translate the information better to where everybody's at. So I'm currently offering an early entry price along with perks of a beta testing of the new upgraded model. So once I have enough people, I will be re-recording this and the price will be going up. So if you are interested, now is the perfect time. Book a call. This will probably go until, I don't know, maybe the next month or so. So let me know. Um, with support, accelerate your results, accelerate your life, reach your goals sooner, and even earn more money sooner. Live a more enjoyable, fulfilling life sooner. So side note, there is a Q&A available. I really care about people making sure that you get the most of what I teach. There may be a registration page. There should be somewhere. Check your email or YouTube in the description. I like to learn what you thought of the content as well as I'm always looking to improve myself. And if I can clear up any content further, I'd like to hear about it. So yeah, description or email. Otherwise, if you'd like to hear more about Conscious Core, the full transformation subconscious course with the 6 months of support, contact me directly. There's my email, michael@consciousharmonics.ca, or you could book a call in the description link, a link in the description, or details within the email. All right, bye for now.